Drafting with Numot, Modern Cube Draft number 2. Drafting with Numot, Modern Cube number 2. Our pack's here, and what do we have? It's probably just going to be an Elspeth Suns champion. Can't really go wrong with Big Mommy. Plenty of other good packs that, or not packs, cards that I could consider taking here. My favorites being Ulamog, Manaleek, Dismember. But I'm probably just going to take the Elspeth. She does win quite a few games, and Modern Cube does go longer. So you have a lot more time to kind of just get there. Although I found that the aggressive decks are frequently better positioned in this format. But I think Elspeth is good enough to where just going to take her here over like the Manaleek. See what we can brew and build off for here. Next up is a what? Man, this pack is not very tasty at all. Having Oust as another white card. Bygone Bishop is fine. I think I might just take the Solemn Simulacrum here. Keeps me open, and it ramps me from 4 to 6, which is conveniently Elspeth mana. So let's take Solemn and keep the good beats rolling. Ooh, third pack has one of my favorite cards of all time, the lovely Remand. Other decent pickups here could be like a Flooded Strand, Palladium Mirror, Watery Grave, but not going to pass a Remand. Might be running back the blue-white deck that we had previously. But do I really want to do that? Maybe not. I just like Remand too much, though. Let's take it. Into what could be a Vanillion Click. That's one of the more powerful blue cards for sure. There's also an Adderker Wastes, Marshall Kugood, Selfless Spirit, not bad. All right, I'll take the Click though. See where we end up. It's very possible I'm just not even playing white. I do have a love for blue-white though, as an honorary Cheon, of course. It just runs in my blood, but could just definitely build a sweet blue deck. I don't know. I feel like I want to go against the grain in this format. Again, I think aggro decks are probably the best positioned. And so building a more control-y deck and trying to overcome the obstacles of like the mono red deck. Just more fun in general, but we'll see. Pick number 5 for us has Mind Control, Essence Scatter. There's a sword here, Sword of War and Peace, another Elspeth. But I think I'm just going to follow up on the blue control route, take the Essence Scatter here. Could also look to be a red-blue deck. That's also one of my favorites in this format. Blue-red has some very nice ones, and in fact, speaking of, there's an Inferno Titan here, which, you know what, I'm going to take that and maybe pivot into a blue-red deck. You can pick up Kiki Jiki. In this Modern Cube. There's no Splinter Twin, of course, because Splinter Twin is now banned, but Kiki Jiki, you can also combo him with, let's see, there's Restoration Angel, Zealous Conscripts, Felidar Guardian, and maybe one more that I can't remember, but I'm going to take the Inferno Titan here over the Enclave Cryptologist, and maybe see if we can build a sweet red-blue deck, which Electrolyze will fit perfectly in. There's Kai in the pack. Release the Gremlins, Murderous Redcap's pretty good, but Electrolyze is just a lovely one. This deck is really actually just looking like a solid modern deck right now. Go figure, Modern Cube. But if I can pick up just some more control aspects with some awesome creatures like the Inferno Titan, then I think we're going to be in a good spot. Man, look how buff Inferno Titan is. Jeez, I never actually realized how ripped he is. Dang. Also, he's got like a beard of fire going on. Pretty cool. This next pack. Okay, some interesting picks here. There are some very aggressive red cards. The Shrine of Burning Rage, Hero of Oxid Ridge, Falconwrath Gorger. But I think I'm just going to take the Prairie Stream. We're not really looking to beat down with the red cards so much. And Prairie Stream lets me splash maybe Elspeth if I'm going to go straight up Jeskai. I can always pick up like a Johnny or Rebel Arc that also helps splash for Restoration Angel if I do end up getting that Kiki Jiki. So Prairie Stream, a pretty good pickup there. It's also a land that you can get with a fetch, as it is Plains Island, so good pick there. I don't recall what was in my initial pack. I know we took the Elspeth out of it, but as far as blue and red are concerned, I guess we'll just have to see since I don't recall. Alright, batter up, and we did get Bonfire on the wheel, but I think instead I'll take that O-Ring. It's one of the cards that I can splash off a few white sources, and, well, I did take that Prairie Stream just now, so I think O-Ring is a fine pickup. Rashmi is very powerful, although I'm not looking to go Rug. Ulamog, probably not so much. There are some number anyways, of artifact ramp spells in this format, but not as much as in other formats, and certainly not the creatures in these colors. You'd want to be in green to get all those ramp creatures. Alright, this pick has some good ones left for us. Oust and Threads of Disloyalty, my top 2 picks here. I like Oust more than Threads, definitely. So I think we'll end up taking that and just putting the Elspeth back in for now. Spectral Procession, not too powerful, in my opinion, in this style of deck. I'll take the Wake Thrasher and see what we make of that. No infinite combo, unfortunately, with the Wake Thrasher, but not a bad one. Alright, Selfless Spirit, probably not fine. Probably not bad, rather. Smash to Smithereens, perfectly fine. Wear and Tear, decent sideboard card. In fact, it's probably main deckable, too. I'll take the Wear and Tear, just in case, and we can always sideboard it in. I love that Izzet Charm's getting a very late pickup here. Stormblood Berserker and Flame Javelin for the mono red aggro decks, but Izzet Charm just does everything you want it to do. Take a Yosei, and a last pick Jinx Choker. Okay, so not a bad start to the Jeskai deck. I only picked up one piece of fixing for it, though, in the form of the Prairie Stream. I know I've passed that Flooded Strand and some other lands and whatnot earlier, but I think we can make this work. Ooh, and we opened 2 very nice ones. The Karn Father and the Ugin Daddy. I think Karn is probably just one of the best cards in this cube. Gonna be pretty hard for me not to just take it here. Karn, pass Ugin, be a little bit sad about it. Other good cards in my colors. Hero of Bladehold's very good. Kira's perfectly fine. Vesuvian Shifter's nice. Siege Gang Commander's good, but ain't nobody ever been sad taking a Karn. So, wouldn't mind getting like an Everflowing Chalice, wouldn't mind getting Prismatic Lens, wouldn't mind getting Gilded Lotus. I guess there's also, Cold Steel Heart in this format. There's Sphere of the Suns, Coalition Relic, Hedron Archive. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few, but any of those would make me pretty happy. Marsh Flats does find Prairie Stream if I want to take that here. Although I'm more tempted to take the Sun Titan at the current moment. Take the white and red Titans. Seems pretty good. Stagger Shock not bad. Sower could be perfectly useful. Thing is, if I'm going 3-color, a card like Marsh Flats is going to have huge upside. But I'm kind of greedy and I kind of want to take the Sun Titan here. I think I'll play it smart, though. I'll just take the Marsh Flats. This will also pay dividends if I pick up like a Sacred Foundry or something later on as well. I think people often overlook fixing and just end up with a pile of cards that they have a very hard time casting their spells off of. Speaking of fixing, we'll take this Hollowed Fountain here pretty happily. So Marsh Flats can find both Hollowed Fountain and Prairie Stream at the current. Passing a Jace, Architect of Thought, Magma Jet. I can see Young Pyromancer being pretty good in this deck too, but fixing is king. And so we'll take the Hollowed Fountain. Hoping to wheel that Revel Arc from the first pack. These colors have a lot of nice targets. In fact, they have Body Double in this cube that I've seen. And you can go infinite with Body Double, Revel Arc, and some sack outlets, so always a fun little combo if you can get it off. I remember the days when Body Double was still a thing in Constructed. Don't think we've seen any body double decks in quite a long time, but who knows? This is just me talking. Battlefield Forge here is probably going to be my pickup as another piece of fixing, and a red one at that, which we don't have yet. I love a Wildfire. I just don't think our deck is the current deck for that style. Flicker Wisp also pretty good. In fact, Flicker Wisp has quite a few good targets. It can reset a Planeswalker. Inferno Titan's nice. Solemn's nice. Resetting O-Ring or Click is not bad either, but I think we want the Forge. Although that being said, I only have 3 red cards, and they're not superb, but just staying 3 colors gives me access to so many powerful cards that I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Battlefield Forge here and still be happy with it. Don't worry, it'll all pay off as soon as I get Ralzeric, and then a Johnny Vengeant, Kiki Jiki, Zealous Conscripts, Restoration Angel, Saheeli Rai, Featherdark Guardian. Oh, there's Pestermite too. Totally forgot about Pestermite. I don't believe Pestermite is going to be the pick, though. We do have things like Spellskite, which is great. Runesnag, I love. Bribery, which is quite good. Although, you know, I've come to realize that the Bribery is just not as amazing in Modern Cube as it is in, well, basically any of the other Cube formats. You do have some large creatures, but the overall likelihood of running into an Eldrazi or just some fat green creature is so diminished compared to other formats that where once Bribery was a slam first pick for me, I don't even know if I want to take it here. Instead, again, I'm looking at that Runesnag, that Spellskite, and that Pestermite, and I still want to live the dream, so I'm going to take the Pestermite here and see if we can get a Kiki Jiki in the last pack, so stay with me here. Yeah, this pack is medium at best. I will take a Clever Impersonator. Chandra and Earthquake aren't high on my priority list, and Clever Impersonator is conveniently, well, just any permanent. Thundermaw Hellkite, one of my favorite finishers in red. Late Goblin Guide. Looks like the red deck was open. Temporal Isolation here, also not terrible, but would like another Wincon, and Thundermaw Hellkite fits that bill. Another good pack here. Seeker of the Way is pretty solid in this style of deck, honestly. I don't have any early creatures right now. Earliest being Vendilion Click and Pestermite. And Seeker of the Way has a lot of ways to turn on its prowess and, more importantly, gain the life with lifelink. But that being said, there is a Thirst for Knowledge in this pack. I do enjoy drawing extra cards. So I think I'm going to take all Thirsty here. Siege Gang Commander, Vesuvian Shapeshifter, both on the wheel. Maybe just Siege Gang for some nice spread value. Shapeshifter's cool, but ain't no Brine Elemental in this cube, as far as I'm aware, to get the Pickles lock. Alright, last few picks here. I don't think I'm interested in the the Greater Gargadon. I didn't take that Wildfire, nor are there any Obliterate effects. We could probably just take Stagger Shock and put in the side for more aggro matchups. Alright, Young Pyromancer, again, not too bad in this deck, so we'll go ahead and take it. Oh, well, the Wildfire did wheel, so a little bit awkward, but again, I don't think Gargadon was at its best in this deck. I will end up playing Wildfire if I see a lot of the Mana Rocks in the last pack, but it's not likely to happen. There's no run of like Signets in this cube, so the artifacts end up getting taken pretty highly, pretty quickly, and that's where Wildfire really thrives, because clearly you don't want to really play this in a green rampy deck unless you're actually ramping the lands, but in a deck with plenty of artifacts, Wildfire can be brutal. We picked up a Brawl there, which isn't terrible. We have a few counters already, and Perilous Mirror's another fine sideboard card versus the aggro decks. Alright, well, we have the red Temporal Mastery. Some of the Miracle cards on Magic Online are a little bit color bugged, so pay no heed to those. Cards that I'm considering taking. There's a Wrath of God here, a Lightning Bolt, Serum Visions. I don't think I'm looking at Pyromaster or Mizium Mortars, so Wrath of God, Lightning Bolt, Serum Visions are my top 3 choices. And, you know, what am I playing white for right now? Oust, O-Ring, and Elspeth? I guess I could probably just be a red-blue deck. In which case, Serum Visions and Lightning Bolt are the top picks here. That being said, I do have some very easy white splashes, so I wouldn't be surprised if I keep the O-Ring in, but right now we're just looking like a red-blue deck. I think Bolt is probably going to be the pick, but I could see Serum Visions also doing some nice work. Alright, what do we have here? Temple of Epiphany is probably going to be the choice. Some other fine cards, Repeal, Negate, Sleight of Hand, Grim Lavamancer, but I'll take the actual on-color piece of fixing here and kind of ignore the white cards. I might move the O-Ring to the sideboard. I don't need to splash it. I'd rather just be two-color if possible. Ooh, and there it is. There's the Kiki-Jiki that we were looking for. Perfect. I am passing a Sulphur Falls here, but now we can definitely just move into the Kiki-Jiki archetype. Granted, I only have one way to go infinite, and that's the Pestermite. Deceiver Exarch is not in the modern cube as far as I'm aware, but if I do get a late Restoration Angel, that white is certainly coming back in, and we could still see a Zealous Conscript, so Kiki-Jiki. And Avrin's Prodigy here, pretty good pickup. I'm a little bit upset now that I took the Lightning Bolt over Serum Visions, now that we're going towards more a combo deck, but that could just be a backup plan, and again, most of our other creatures are pretty darn good with Kiki-Jiki, right? Siege King Commander getting a lot of tokens. Double Thundermaw Hellkite just ends the game very quickly, as does Copping Inferno Titan. Solemn is just value, etc. So, take the Jace, see what we get past. Quite a poor pack here. Oh, I guess there's a disallow. I didn't see the counter at first. I was going to say, none of these red or blue cards really tickle my fancy. O-Ring, or rather O-Stone is fine, but we'll take the counter for sure. This would be a pretty good pack for or rather a pretty good deck for a Snapcaster Mage now. Scalding Tarn, very nice pickup. Also passing an Arid Mesa. But happy to take the perfect fetch. Alright, last few picks here. I'm going to go ahead and take the Sheevan Reef. I'm a little bit short on playables right now, but in a pinch, again, I can add O-Ring as a white card. Stagger Shock for just some random burn. But again, I think the fixing is going to be a little bit better. Ooh, hello Cryptic Command. Don't mind if I do. Alright, that's card number 20 in the deck. Picked up 3 pieces of fixing. Temporal Mastery, not so good in a format with no Brainstorm or Jace, Mind Sculptor, or other ways to filter your top of library. Chandra could do some decent work though, and Mizzy Mortars is always a fine sideboard option in a pinch. Not actually sure what I want to take here. I don't actually think this is a Chandra deck, is the thing. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Mizzy Mortars as just some extra removal. Sleight of Hand, Repeal, Grim Lavamancer, all excellent pickups here. I think because we are focused on the Kiki-Jiki plan, Sleight of Hand is probably a better pickup, but I could definitely see taking the Grim Lavamancer or the Repeal. Chandra, again, not what we're looking to take here. I could play Boom Bust. This card's pretty silly with fetches. I do have 2 fetch lands in my sideboard currently. So you get to, if you have 3 lands, one of them being a fetch, you get to cast Boom targeting your fetch land, sack it before Boom resolves, and then your opponent's land still gets destroyed while you've gone and fetched off something else. Kind of cute little interaction there. How many more picks left? 4 here? Yeah, unlikely to see anything too exciting, but again, in a pinch, I could just throw Stagger Shock in, or splash the O-Ring. Or if I am splashing white, if I do end up splashing O-Ring, I could put the Boom Bust back in and just take out one of the other cards that's maybe not as good in my deck. Like Clever Impersonator, I'm not too thrilled about. Either Adept's perfectly fine though. It's another good combo piece with Kiki-Jiki. Just keep on bouncing your opponent's creatures. Also buys a lot of tempo time, so don't mind that pickup. Pyroclasm for the sideboard. Alright. Stormcrypt Noble. So I think I might just cut the Clever Impersonator and run the Stagger Shock. We almost look like a blue-red Delver deck in Modern. Although I did end up passing the Delver, but I don't think Delver is particularly great. Brimstone Volley I don't believe as good as Stagger Shock, just blindly main deck. And I think that's going to be our deck right there. Going to definitely be heavier blue than red, but that being said, we do want to hit the triple red for Kiki Jiki at some point, but we have 3 pieces of land fixing, Solemn Simulacrum for some fixing, and we also have a decent number of filter and card draw, so I'm not too concerned. If we have 14 more lands after the Temple, I guess we're probably going to run 8-6 in favor of islands, and then we'll call it a day. I'll take a look at the sideboard one last time while we're finishing up the deck list, but I think this is how we're going to run it. Again, I could run Boom Bust. I'm not terribly thrilled about that. Could splash some white, Wake Thrasher, Clever Impersonator, Chandra, Pyroclasm. Yeah, all pretty medium. I do like access to Wear and Tear from the sideboard too if I want to splash the white at some point, but for now, we will just do the old 8-6 split in favor of blue, because again, we don't need Kiki Jiki till later. We have plenty of more double blue cards early, as well as a cryptic command, so I think I like shipping it like this and trying this nice little red-blue Kiki Jiki deck out. All right, let's submit this and go to the first round. Stay tuned. All right, here we are for round 1. We're on the draw, and we have a nice hand. Some removal spells, some creatures. Certainly not going to mulligan in the blind versus unknown. Could be playing against a control deck here. Watery Grave kind of scares me. Yeah, I guess we're not going to hold up Lightning Bolt. Temple of Epiphany here, Scry. I will keep Scalding Tarn because we do want to find another blue source. And with Inferno Titan in our hand, we don't mind drawing a few more lands. Frostwalker! That is a pretty nice target for our Pestermite or Electrolyze. I don't know if I want to use a Lightning Bolt on that particular creature. I'm going to go ahead and fetch an island here. Start off with a sleight of hand. And I think Essence Scatter is the take here over Stagger Shock. Really unfortunate that I'm on the draw, which means I can't just Pestermite and tap that down before it's going to hit me. I think I'm okay taking 4 here from the Frostwalker. It's just a free kill with the Pestermite anyways. So, not too concerned about taking 1 hit here. Life is definitely a resource. Oh, the dream would have been if the opponent... Oh, I guess never mind. That doesn't make sense. I was going to say the dream would have been if they had cast Vendilion Click and then I electrolyzed both of those creatures, but I would not have had the 3rd land when they cast the Vendilion Click. Land number 4 from the opponent. Let's see if they cast anything out pre-combat. They do not. Okay. I'm going to go for the Pestermite here. If they counter it, I'm not too concerned. I will take another hit, and my Pestermite combo will be gone, but for now I can just target the Frostwalker if it does resolve. And just say good stuff. I am tapped out for a turn for an Essence Scatter, but I figure with the burn in my hand that any creature they resolve here for 4 mana is probably killable. We'll see what the opponent opts to do, though. And just a Herald of Torment, no big deal. Gonna go ahead and start off with a Lightning Bolt on the Herald. Play my Mountain for a 3rd red source, and attack for 2 and pass. Holding up good old Electrolyze and Essence Scatter. Seeing Frostwalker and Herald of Torment in their deck makes me a little bit happy. That means they're probably more of an aggressive blue-black strategy, which I am much happier to see. I'm actually going to let Hypnotic Spectre resolve here too, because Electrolyze just deals with it very happily. And I'd rather save the Essence Scatter for a creature that I can't burn. Oh, wow. Phantasmal Bear, pretty good one for us to kill out as well. Alright, so Electrolyze on their Spectre, get in for 2. And you know what? Given what the opponent's done, I don't think I mind just tapping out for Solemn here. Or basically tapping out anyways for Solemn here. Just getting another blue source in case we draw Cryptic. That way we can Cryptic plus disallow. I have yet to try a blue-black aggro deck in Modern Cube, but I suppose it could be a thing. I imagine our deck is very well positioned versus them, though. And wow, they didn't even play a spell. It is tempting to jam the Inferno Titan, but at this point, because we're so far ahead, I think I just like attacking and passing with both of our counterspells open, in addition to this Thirst for Knowledge. I was considering not playing the land there to discard a Thirst, but I think it's okay to do so, because this way I can, if I draw on the land, I can Inferno Titan plus hold up Essence Scatter. Dismember on my Phantasmal, or rather on my Pestermite end of turn is perfectly fine. I'm going to let that resolve. We have bigger fish to fry. And again, Pestermite is more like a backup win con with Kiki Jiki. Our deck is very good without it even. Glenelendra Archmage, though, is not a card I can let resolve. We're going to Thirst here first. Looks like discard 2 lands. And then I'll just Essence Scatter the Glenelendra. Now's a good time to resolve our Inferno Titan. Can target the Phantasmal Bear for 1 point of damage, then for 2. And the bear will just die to the trigger. I'm actually going to hold this island in case they have like a Liliana or something. And playing the land out doesn't actually help me because I can't cast either the Disallow or the Adept out anyways. So we're basically saying, show me a removal spell for my Inferno Titan here, or you are not going to be happy. The nice thing is if they have like a Mind Control for my Titan, I still have the Adept to bounce it back to. Bribery. Ooh, what do I even have left in my deck that's worth bribing? Not too much, right? They get to see that I have Kiki Jiki, but I think Inferno Titan is the king of the creatures in my deck. They can take like Vendilion Click? That's not that great. This is probably just a scoop from the opponent, honestly. I could be forgetting something, of course, but pretty sure with Inferno Titan already on the battlefield, there's not much they can do. Okay, sure, Thundermaw Hellkite, that's fine. So they actually have to leave it back as a blocker. And then I just get to Adept them, and that'll be game. Pretty good. Bounce versus a Bribery is pretty darn good, and that'll be game 1 in our favor. So they have a lot of random creatures that are kind of junky. Pyroclasm seems like it could be okay. Perilous Mirror seems like it could be okay. Brimstone Volley may be okay. It felt like quite a few of their creatures died to Pyroclasm. The only one that didn't die was the Herald of Torment, right? Pyroclasm might be worth bringing in. It does kill a lot of my creatures, though. Yeah, and you know what? We already have so much burn anyways. Bolt, Charm, Mortars, Electrolyze, Stagger Shock. And then we have, like, Bounce as well. Yeah. I probably don't need Pyroclasm. I can definitely see bringing it in. Is it better than any of my cards in my deck right now? Maybe? Very possible it's just better than Thirst for Knowledge? No, I can't cut a card draw spell. Yeah, I think we can relegate the Pyroclasm to the sideboard, just keep it there for now and ship it back. I think our deck is perfectly well tuned to battle their blue-black shenanigans. I do have to be a little bit wary of Bribery if I don't have the Inferno Titan already. This is going to be a very quick mulligan. We're on the draw, but we have a mountain in our hand instead of an island. If I had island for sleight of hand, I would keep this. But instead, we will ship it down to 6, where we find a very similar hand. Opponent joining us on 6. Solemn seems pretty good. That's going to let me go from 4 to 6, assuming I draw my lands. All right, Ancestral Vision from the opponent, and we would love to find the remand for that one. That's sleight of hand. I kind of want to just take the land over Pestermite, but with 2 other lands already in our hand, we only need to find 1 more land to cast out this Solemn. So between our card draw, just for the turn, and Electrolyze in hand, we should be able to get there. Alright, Phantasmal Bear. I am happy with that. And pass the turn to them. If they resolve this Ancestral Vision, I'm not going to be comfortable with our spot, but not much I can do about that if they do. Alright, another land, not too shabby. Let's go ahead and pass the turn here. And see what they do. I'm going to make the same play I did last game on their Frostwalker to their Phantasmal Bear. The absolute dream would be draw Remand next turn, but if I just draw anything that's not relevant, I guess Solemn Simulacrum is in our future. And Go for the Throat on Pestermite finishes that off. Ooh, a Disallow. Okay, I'll happily counter their Ancestral Vision now. Not as tasty as a Remand on a Suspend card, but not too darn shabby. Not too darn shabby. That feels very good. Basically a 3-for-1. So, not going to complain. And they just pass the turn again. We'll jam our Solemn Simulacrum. Get a 3rd red source for Kiki. And Inferno Titan is going to be on the way if the opponent doesn't do anything here. They are not popping off their fetch, as it looks like they just need to draw lands, which, unfortunately for them, they're not hitting. Okay, another pass of the turn. Whew. Another pretty spicy there. Pretty spicy when they're in the form of Karn. We'll bash it in for 2, even up the life totals, and say, do you got anything? Because if they don't, Big Daddy Inferno is gonna keep talking away. Dismember doesn't kill it, and we saw Dismember in the previous game. Although if they're using their Polluted Delta here, I would not be surprised to see like a Hero's Downfall. And indeed, that is what it is. But with Hero's Downfall gone from their hand, that means if Karn resolves, it's unlikely they're going to have a easy, good way to deal with him. Alright, what do they got? Mist Raven Bouncing Solemn is, well, not the most exciting play, I'm sure, from the opponent's point of view. Yeah, just happy to replay the Solemn, especially since I drew the Is It Charm now. We can counter anything if we need to, or if they just don't do anything relevant to counter with the Is It Charm, I'll happily just shoot the Mist Raven end of turn, as it's a way to get rid of one of their threats that could harm Karn. This could be bribery. Obnixilis. Alright, we will counter that as well. And I think here Karn is probably just going to uptick. They have spells in their hand, nothing but. So just stealing one of them immediately seems pretty nice. And my hand is just chock full of removal spells anyways. Actually, I have 9 points of burn in my hand. Wouldn't take many attacks from the Solemn to finish them off, actually. Been real, been fun, ain't been real fun. Fair enough. All right, and Karn takes another match, and we are 1-0. Second match here with our blue-red Kiki Jiki deck. We're on the draw, and we have a perfectly fine hand. Nothing too amazing, but good enough to keep for sure. All right, people being being very nice. Ooh, Essence Scatter. I do like that. Scalding Tarn can go get our Steam Vent at end of turn. Black-blue again. I'm going to hope that the opponent is also playing... Oh, I thought we had a Steam Vent in this deck. Did we not? Temple of Epiphany, Shivan Reeve. Ah, and Scalding Tarn. Okay, so just a mountain. End of turn. Island Pass. But yeah, like I was saying, I hope we're playing against another blue-black, quote-unquote, aggro deck, as opposed to another... Or as opposed to a control deck. Alright, well, we did find the combo pieces. So that's good. The Vendilion Click from the opponent EOT, though, is going to meet a very swift Essence Scatter for me. My hope was that I would be able to play Thirst for Knowledge end of turn and then find another red source for Kiki Jiki. We're just going to pass the turn here. I don't think I tapped down one of their lands yet. Shadow Mage Infiltrator is perfectly fine. Alright, well, if I draw a mountain next turn, I do win the game. That's the greedy play. Maybe the more conservative, safer play is just a Thirst for Knowledge, but I think I like going for it. Let's Pestermite here. Let's tap down their island. And if we draw a untapped red source, we will in fact win the game. Oh, I'm also going to Lightning Bolt here just to play it safe. Mountain? Had to be an island. Alright, we'll attack in for 2. Play our island. And just pass the turn. Could also main phase Thirst for Knowledge, actually. In fact, let's do that instead. We do have like Young Pyromancer that we could find. Ooh, I can actually discard Solemn instead of discarding 2 cards, which is good value. Alright. Not going to play the Sleight of Hand. I'm going to hold up the Izzet Charm. Alright, our opponent's just passing the turn. Electrolyze off the top for us, not too shabby. Let's start off with a Sleight of Hand here. And we're going to happily take the Disallow. And I can happily sit back, play the control game, wait for the opponent to make a mistake or try to cast a spell that I can counter. No rush. I think people often try to rush things too quickly. I'm not even going to electrolyze them here. I'm just going to hold back. Keep drawing lands is perfect for me. And again, the longer they keep taking damage, well, the quicker I'm able to just burn them out too, because my deck has a decent amount of burn in it. Alright, now they're finally deciding to pull some sort of trigger. A Morph card. I'm not going to counter that. I'm going to go for an Electrolyze at end of turn. I don't remember what blue-black Morph creatures there are, but it could very well be Spirit Dance, or not Spirit Dance, or whatever it's called, the one that counters an instant or sorcery. Sure, Stratus Dancer, that's the one. Alright, and so we let Stratus Dancer resolve. They're tapped out. I get to loot, discard Mizzium Mortars, and I'm actually going to discard the Temple of Epiphany here. Need to find a mountain. Mountain? And then just an Either Adept. No me gusta. Alright. I think I like Stagger Shocking the Stratus Dancer right now. Holding up Disallow and bashing them for 2. Ooh, are they thinking about using a Pact of Negation on this? Wow, if they Pact of Negation on that... Wow, I was going to say that would be amazing for me. Alright, land number 6 from the opponent. Not going to play anything again, that's fine. Get to rebound our Stagger Shock. Shoot him down to 10. There's our mountain, but... Again, not going to just run Kiki Jiki out into 6 mana from a blue-black deck when I can just keep poking them away. Passing the turn here. If they do anything scary end of turn, I can disallow this, which I think we happily do. They Pact of Negated my... Wow, they Pact of Negated my disallow. So now they have to pay 5 during their turn. I mean, I suppose they could have like a fatal push here, but That seems very good for me. Alright, well, we can just F6 now since Teferi says no sir to me doing anything on anything but my main. And you know what? I'm just going to jam the Kiki Jiki. If they have anything for 1 blue, then they got me. If they don't, then I get to say, hello friend, neat infinite combo. Alright, so this is a mirror match, or not a mirror match, a match we did not want to fight against. The more control-y deck is definitely a problem. I kind of like bringing in the Boom Bust, if I'm being completely honest. I think we're going to do that. I think we can take out the Mizium Mortars and probably the Stagger Shock. Wake Thrasher also presents a very real threat to this type of deck. It's relatively cheap and can just start bashing in with a very quick lock. Don't think we want any of these other cards, though. So I think I will ship it like this, and let's try to take a game 2 from the blue-black control deck. Game 2, round 2. We are on the draw, and our hand is lovely. Love this type of hand. Does everything and more. Alright, turn 1 sleight of hand. Taking an Essence Scatter over Siege Gang Commander. And this lets just be a little bit more reactive as well. We also know the opponent has a Vendilion Click in their deck, so... Ooh, Remand now too? Man, this is just the dream. This is an actual modern deck. Temporal Mastery? Okay, well, I am going to remand this because remanding Miracles feels pretty gosh darn good. And we'll play the land and pass here. Actually, I'm going to main phase click them. We know they have Temporal Mastery, but I want to make sure this resolves. Okay, they have their own negate. Sorry, they have their own Vendilion Click. They have Essence Scatter, Jace, Unraveler of Secrets. I think we take their Vendilion Click and let's see. Let's write down these cards real quickly. Essence, Jace, Negate, Pact, Mastery, Click. I think we'll take the click here. And now with their click gone, they only have 1 unknown, but we have a threat on the battlefield while they do not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so get rid of the click. 4 mana, what did they draw? Uh-oh. Sad face if they drew a removal spell. They did! They drew a Doomblade from a Vendilion Click. Okay. So we still have perfect information. They have Essence Scatter, Jace, Negate, Pact, and Mastery. I stupidly played a Mountain instead of holding up Cryptic Command, but hopefully they don't punish me here. Okay, they did not go for the Jace, which is nice. So if I Thirst, it's going to run into a Negate. But instead, I'm going to use Electrolyze just to cycle, and if they want to negate this, I'm okay with that. Drew Karn, that's pretty good. Also drew a Wake Thrasher. I can't actually play the Wake Thrasher yet, though, because they have that Essence Scatter. It's a bit of a cat and mouse game going on. This is nice for me, though, because I have lands and they don't, so I can kind of pinch their mana if I play it correctly. Let's see. So I don't... Like, if I Thirst for Knowledge here, they just use Negate. And that seems poor, because then I'm not doing anything again, and I'm letting them use their mana pretty efficiently. So we'll just pass here. Wait for them to move first. Okay, and now I think I will end of turn Thirst for Knowledge. Which they just let resolve. Okay. Well, Wow, I wonder if I can just discard the Essence Scatter now. They have 5 cards that we know and 2 unknowns. I kind of like the Boom Bust here. Especially knowing they have a Pact of Negation, Boom Bust could be insane. I think I'm going to discard the Scatter. Discard the Scatter, discard Island. Go for End of Turn Pestermite here, which I wouldn't be surprised to see get Essence Scattered, but then I can Wake Thrasher on my turn, which is a larger threat anyways. Essence Scatter? Question mark? Why does this not look? Oh, Condescend for one was what they drew. Okay. Oh, you got me there. Not gonna lie. You did get me there. And they went 1 top, 1 bottom. All right. A little bit awkward. So, Essence Scatter, Jace, Negate, Pact, and Mastery. I could Wake Thrasher here and then Cryptic their Essence Scatter. Which is what I think I do here. Or at least attempt to do. And then if they pack this, I get to resolve Karn next turn. Wake Thrasher is a very real threat. Okay. I'm also letting them resolve Jace here if they want, but little do they know. I assume they topped a land. Darn. Okay. What I was going to say is they played Jace here. I Thundermaw Hellkite to kill it. They packed my Thundermaw, and then I get to Boom Bust their lands, but I guess that's not going to be the case. Ooh, disallow now. Oh, interesting. This is all very, very interesting. Okay, so Scatter and Jace gone. They have Negate, Pact, and Mastery in hand. So if I Thundermaw Hellkite, I think we Thundermaw Hellkite here. They packed it. I played Jace. They pay 5. They're probably going to uptick their Jace. Could also just Wake Thrasher, hold up Disallow. That's not awful. But I think I like running out the Hellkite here. And if they packed it, then I'm very happy about it. Because then they would need to find a land to be able to negate Karn. That's fine. Alright, so Pact of Negation gone. They have Negate and Temporal Mastery as the knowns. 1 unknown. They have to pay 5 here. This is interesting. A little nice cat and mouse. Alright, they minused on my Jace. Do they have a land? They do not. Oh, and I drew Kiki Jiki. That's kind of interesting too. Negate and Mastery. I kind of want to just resolve Karn now. Yeah, let's just resolve Karn. Oh, did they draw like a Spell Pierce? Oh my god, they did. Wow, that's brutal. Okay, very good draw from the opponent there to kind of wreck me. And now they could take an extra turn with Mastery after using Jace. Oh, geez. Okay, this is where they're going to come back into the game. I could have just played Kiki Jiki, I guess, and attacked their Jace down. Wow, wow, wow. Brutality. I guess I can't bank on the opponent drawing like the perfect spell there, though. Alright, Liliana as well. They still have negate in their hand. Brutal. Brutal. Despise, okay. There goes Kiki Jiki. Interesting. Interesting turn of events that have happened here. Alright, well, Jace is immune to Liliana. Wake Thrasher, unfortunately, is not. What? What did they draw now? They drew another counter? Oh boy. Alright, well, I guess I disallow that. Resolve my Jace, which they'll probably just bounce with their Jace. I cannot play the Wake Thrasher. Because again, it just died to Liliana. They drew Obnixilis off the top now. Oh no! Alright, well, the opponent hit perfects, I would have to say. It was that one turn that I opted to play Karn, where they hit a Spell Pierce to get me. And an Ashiok? Oof, okay, well, opponent's playing just the blue-white. Okay, that's actually insanely good here for me. Wow, is that good? I can shoot the Jace for 3. They only have negate in hand. Okay, this is my out. I need them to brick, though, but they get multiple draws next turn. Super awkward. Ugh. Doomblade, Condescend, Scatter, Pact Negation, Spell Pierce, Despise, Scatter, and Walkers. So no to Ashiok, no to Obnixilis, no to Liliana. Yes to Jace. This could be incorrect. It's possible I'm supposed to shoot the Obnixilis because they can't actually counter the Inferno Titan. But leaving this on the battlefield means they have to find an answer, otherwise the Titan starts wreaking havoc. Okay, land. Really weird game. Ashiok uptick, hit some more cards, okay. 4 mana here, 5 mana now. Batter Skull, okay. That Ashiok is gonna kill me, isn't it? Yeah, that Ashiok is gonna kill me. I have 9 cards left in my library. Brutal. So brutal. Okay. Well, I have to attack Liliana here. No, I have to... Oh gosh, now I have to shoot the Obnixilis, don't I? Yeah, I have to shoot the Obnixilis. So I attack Liliana, shoot Obnixilis. Otherwise, Obnixilis can just -3 kill my Inferno Titan. No, yes, no, no. I imagine they block. Right. I can't play Boom Bust here, even though I would love to. We're going to bounce the skull back to their hand. They can actually Adept my Inferno Titan, but that's not that bad. Okay, they're going to draw a card. Oh, this game went downhill quickly. Sheldock Isle. And again, they still have that negate in hand too. So, pretty awkward for me here. Alright, exile 3. What did they hit this time? A few lands and a young Pyromancer. They're replaying the Batter Skull. I'm not sure what I can draw. I would have needed another, like the either Adept would have been perfect because it's a creature spell that would have gotten rid of the germ. Another island, not going to cut it here. Yeah, and unfortunately that's just going to be the game for us, I believe. Yeah, I'll just scoop them up. Good comeback from the opponent, though. Again, that Spell Pierce was brutal. That Spell Pierce was brutal. What can I bring in? Maybe Jinx Choker is not terrible versus the opponent. I could Clever Impersonator. Clever Impersonator copying Planeswalkers is pretty good. I almost like bringing in Stromkirk Noble, too. As just another early aggro threat. Take out the Solemn versus them. Is Chandra worth it? I don't know if Chandra's worth it. I kind of want to bring in this Jinx Choker, though. I think the Jinx Choker could actually be worth it. Take out the Thirst for Knowledge. And take out the Adept, actually, because it's not very good versus them. And let's try to beat the old blue-black Planeswalker deck. We are on the play, though, so that should help. Oh, I'm reeling, though. I'm reeling. If I just played Kiki Jiki and hasted down their creature. Oh, no. Well, we're going to go down to a mulligan to 6, unfortunately. And have to keep this one here with a Scry. Bottom the land, or rather bottom the Choker and hope to draw land. Not in a... Sorry, bottom the Boom Bust, which would have been sweet here. And hope to draw lands. If this is just a game where we get screwed after such a good second game, I'm going to be really, really sad. Electrolyze, not so good. Okay, I think we're just gonna draw step click them. See if they have a counter. If they don't, that's great. Alright. So click resolves. They might Doomblade here in response. They did not. Oof. That is gross. Alright, well, I'm pretty sure we just have to jam the Ashiok. Let's write down their hand again. Ashiok, Faraway, Jace, Finkel, Click, Island, ×3. So let's take the Ashiok. They're probably going to reverse click me, I would imagine. Just main phase, too. Would not be surprising. And I wonder what they take here. Because Lightning Bolt Well, I guess they don't care about the lightning bolt because they have far and away if I kill their click. Alright, so they have 2 islands left. Island. Click's gone. So far and away, Jace, Finkel, Island. They took the Clever Impersonator. Alright, that also makes a bit of sense. Mountain was a very nice draw for us. So let's bolt, Island, Choker, attack for 3 and pass. They played another Island. They played the Shadow Mage Infiltrator. I'm actually going to hit them here for 8. And put them on a clock. And then we can just start using the Jinx Choker to kill them. Oh no! Time Walk. It's a miracle! Alright. They have Jace and Far and Away in their hand. Gonna remove a counter from my Jinx Choker. Seems good though. They have to use Far and Away next turn, I imagine. And then they have to remove counters from Jinx Choker on their upkeep, which is silly as hell. Good old sideboard Jinx Choker. Wow, that's actually really sick. That sideboard tech. That sideboard tech. Alright, here comes the Far and Away. Sacrifice my Thundermaw. I'm going to take 3 on upkeep. They despise my click. That's fine. Add counter. Add counter. This forces them to pay 3 mana on their turn to remove a counter on their upkeep. Oh, they have to remove both counters and pay 6, actually. Oh, that's so insane! Oh, the Jinx Choker wins again. Oh, that's amazing. Wow. What a sideboard card, for real. Also, now I can just draw like a random burn spell. But that is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Alright. What do you got? Jinx Choker. Could just hit a burn spell here to kill them. I'll take the Jace. Play out the Jace. Play out my land. Add a counter to Jinx Choker. I guess it doesn't really matter, right? That is so silly. The Jinx Choker. Wow. Jinx Choker, ladies and gentlemen. The nut. Ah, nice catch on the mountain they're talking about for the Thundermaw. I happened to draw it the turn prior, though. In fact, I had 2. But that was a really sick match. I got scared there because of the mulligan, but Jinx Choker did some amazing work. Let's see if we can finish off with a 3-0 and go to match 3. The third and final match here with our blue-red deck. We are going to play first, and we have a pretty darn sexy hand, let me tell you. Sleight of Hand, Is It Charm, 2 flash creatures. All we need to draw is some more counter magic, and, well, I'm going to be very, very pleased with myself. Hello, hello, friend. Alright, opponent mulligans to 6. And keeps that. Let's start off with a little sleight of hand, finding ourselves a island, I guess? Doesn't really matter, right? Because Scalding Tarn only finds basics, and the thinning is negligible because we're just putting a land back on the bottom anyways. Or we're putting a land on the bottom with sleight of hand anyways. Karn Daddy the draw. Pass with Is It Charm open for any shenanigans like a Bitter Blossom. No plays from the opponent, though. And we are happy to play the draw-go game. Most happy to play the draw-go game. Indeed, I will be going. Alright, and I'm just going to pass the turn here. Probably click them on upkeep. Seems like a fine line to me. I could also wait until end of turn. If I had counters, I'd be more inclined to do that, but I think just clicking him here is perfectly fine. Because if they play a creature, I can still just burn it out. Condemn, Damnation, O-Stone. What in the world is going on? I guess I take the O-Stone? I don't even know. O-Stone is the only relevant card here. I don't really care about Condemn or Damnation. They don't have a white source yet. So Condemn, Damnation, Mountain, Mountain, Swamp, Swamp, and then I'm going to take the O-Stone. They couldn't have cast anything except the O-Stone, but we'll see if I gave them a target. They did find a Spellskite now, alright. One Swamp gone. I mean, I just get to keep bashing them for 3 here. Gonna pass the turn. If they want to throw a Damnation out, that's fine. They do have Condemn mana open now as well, just to note. But what I can do here is I can target the Caves of Koilos. They could redirect to Spellskite if they want to. They do not. Alright, so we'll tap it so they can't condemn us. Ooh, Thundermaw's a pretty spicy draw. And then I can just, Is It Charm their Damnation if they go for it this turn. There goes their second Swamp. Incoming Damnation. Alright, counter that unless they pay 2. Now they have their Condemn open. But that's fine. If they condemn one of these creatures, that means we have the Thundermaw afterwards. So let's do that. Let's let them condemn here. Alright, click down. I gain a few life. They go to 9. Brawl. And Brawl might actually do some work here since I have an Essence Scatter, silly enough as that is. Alright, they played one of their Mountains. They played their Damnation. They played their Condemn. In fact, the only card left in their hand that I don't know, or the only, let's see, there's only one card left in their hand that I don't know, or yeah, one card left in their hand that I don't know about. I'm going to go ahead and Stagger Shock here on end of turn, because if I draw a land for Thundermaw, then we just win. And it is not, it is an Electrolyze. Alright, so we'll just pass turn here. Opponent on 5 with a Mountain in hand. 2 unknowns. Okay, they played their Mountain. Night's Whisper, go to 3. I like that play. I like that play quite a bit. End of turn. Let's shoot their face with Electrolyze. Maybe draw a Lightning Bolt? Nope. Alright, well. Sheevan Reef is going to let us cast this Thundermaw, and unless they have another removal spell, that will be all she wrote. And that is the game. Alright, so Mardu Control, it looks like. Mardu Control could bring in another Jinx Choker. In fact, that Choker did so much work in the previous round that I think I like bringing it in here quite a bit. I'm going to bring in the Boom Bust again as well. And I'm not going to bring in Wake Thresher. They seem to have a lot of removal, but we will take out like the Either Adept. And maybe one more random cut Mizzium Mortars. We did see Spellskite, but I'm not too concerned about that. I'm assuming they have either some big creatures that Mizzium Mortars doesn't deal with, or they're running Planeswalkers. And so I think we'll run it back like this, and let's go to game 2. Alright, game 2 of this third round. We're on the draw, and we do have the combo in hand. No counter magic, though, which is quite poor, but we have a game plan, if nothing else. Gonna hope to draw some counter magic at some point in the game. Alright, turn 1 Grim Lavamancer from the opponent. Let's see if I end up regretting cutting a lot of my removal. Grim Lavamancer into a Hangerback Walker. Oh boy, what happened? I'm actually not going to use the Scalding Tarn here, end of turn. Again, it only gets basics, and we don't mind drawing more lands at this current position in the game. Alright, attacking me for 2, so they have something to do for 3 in their hand. Or, okay, that's interesting. Not entirely sure why they would hold up 3 mana. They must be doing something end of turn. Or they were holding up a removal spell for me. Let's see if they attack again. Alright, they're just attacking for 1 this time. Probably just Stagger Shock their Hangerback Walker in response to their next activation. Pretty awkward that I want to get both a mountain and an island here. With the Scalding Tarn, because I have Kiki Jiki and Cryptic in my hand. Are they going to kill their Hangerback Walker in response? Oh, Volt Charge to proliferate? Wow. That's actually really gross. Alright, well I do have Stagger Shock on rebound to deal with their Grim Lavamancer, but I'm taking a bit of damage here. Jeez. Alright, not going to use the fetch still. Stagger Shock their Lavamancer. Temple of Epiphany. Alright, well, I guess we'll just get a mountain here and then Solemn. Try not to get burned out this game, because it's looking like we very well might get burned out. 3, 4, 5. I'm actually going to top the land here, because if the opponent taps out, I can just win with the combo. So this is a great game plan. I'm going to attack for 2, because, well, I can't block their flyers anyways. I'm then going to play Jace. Probably going to see it get burned. But if not, that's okay too. Land. Alright, I need them to tap out. Pray to God they tap out here. Keep going. More than 2 mana. Alright, I'm going to counter that and bounce. And then hope they pay another 3 mana to do something, and I can just go Pestermite Kiki Jiki win. Keep going. 1 more mana. Shriekmaw. Alright, that's actually fine too. That is actually fine as well. They only have access to 1 red-black right now. So I am just going to say, screw it. Let's go for the combo. Untap my island. Kiki Jiki. Can you kill it? Can you kill it? All right. Cute little trick there. Untap your lands. And that, friends, is a wonderful 3-0 in this modern cube. Had a very nice blue-red deck. Not entirely built around Kiki Jiki combo, but lots of nice counters, lots of tempo, some really powerful creatures and other cards. Inferno Titan, Karn, Thundermaw Hellkite, Cryptic Command, Disallow, Vendilion Click, Remand, Scatter. So all lovely cards. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this Drafting with Numot Modern Cube number 2. Also hope you're enjoying all of these extra drafts I've been uploading to YouTube and Numot Gaming. Hoping to do so more frequently. Again, now that I've got a better recording software, and leagues are just so nice. You can pop them out so quickly. So thank you again. Please check out all of our other content here on YouTube and on NumotGaming.com. This is Kenji, NumotTheNummy, signing out, and we'll see you back next time. Take it easy.